our pets, they are the love of our life. I know Dakota is for us, and we only want to feed her the very best. And the only way to really do that is to make her food ourselves. If you're into healthy living, I'm sure that you have considered what goes into commercial foods. Even the best commercial dog foods are considerably high in processed ingredients. Follow along with me and I'll show you how to make this super homemade dog food. If you like this recipe, and I know you will, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit notifications so that you get all of our recipes as they post, both for your dog, your cat, and your humans. Now, let's stir the pot. This homemade super dog food is geared towards high protein with low fat, also antioxidants and cancer fighting nutrients. We have consulted with our vet on all of our homemade dog recipes, and you'll want to do the same to ensure that your dog is getting the nutrition that they need before you make any diet changes. I'm going to start by chopping up some of our vegetables. This will make it easier for the dog to absorb the nutrients. Dogs don't have the same digestive system as humans do. So, in order for them to absorb the nutrients, it needs to be smaller. They just don't break it down like we do. The carrots are for vitamin A, also fiber and potassium. I added 3 carrots to my little food processor here, and I'm going to add another root vegetable here that is full of wonderful nutrition for your dog. It's turmeric. Turmeric is an anti inflammatory, it's also a cancer fighting ingredient. And that's what we're looking for in this super dog food. With this, I'm going to also add a little bit of pepper. The pepper will help, just like in humans, the dog to absorb the turmeric. So I'll just add this in. I'm going to give this a quick blitz with this food processor, and then I'm going to add it over to a bowl. That's good enough. That turmeric smells so good. I'm going to now add my shiitakes. I have about 1 cup of shiitake mushrooms. Also, I'm going to add the parsley here. Both of these are excellent for the overall health of your dog. Um, Dogs can have mushrooms. They can have any mushrooms that you and I can eat. You do want to not add any more than 10% to their diet. It could give them a diarrhea. We are putting some pumpkin in this, but just keep a watch on them. It is very good for their immune system, as well as the parsley. That's chopped. I'm going to add this over to the bowl. Then I'm going to get rid of this chopper. The rest of these items here, we will mash these up as we're doing the cook. For my proteins in this super dog food, I'm going to be using beef liver. I have ground turkey, ground chicken, and salmon. The salmon is a canned salmon, and if you do use a canned salmon, make sure that you rinse it off and you don't add any salt to your recipe because there'll be some salt in the canned salmon. So first, we're adding this beef liver. A beef liver is a superfood by itself. I will have all of the nutritional values down in the description, so check that out. Ooh, look at that. This is our turkey, ground turkey going in. Ground turkey and also ground chicken. It is a leaner, or I hope that you get the lean. I did. It is a leaner meat, and also it's very easy for your dog to digest. This is my turkey going in. And for this cook, for the amount that I used, I have 1 pound of ground turkey, 2 pounds of ground chicken. So you could use 3 pounds, whether you do 2 turkey, 1 chicken, or you do all chicken or all turkey. It's still going to be very nutritional for your pet. And it could be determined by how much, what's on sale this week, because we know that everything is going up as well as dog food. So this can be very economical if you're a smart shopper. We're going to add our salmon last. We do make sure that whenever we are buying our salmon, again, you source your own food, okay? We make sure that it's wild caught and it's from the USA. So I'm not getting something from somewhere that I don't even know what they do with their food. Um, to this, I have my meat in here now. I'm going to add 32 ounces of bone broth. This is bone broth that we have made. We will put a link down in the bottom to the recipe for our bone broth. I'm now going to add some of our carbohydrates. I'm going to start off with blueberries. Blueberries is a cancer fighting ingredient and it does a super boost to the immune system. So, not only in you, but in your pet as well. And you know, we love our pets and we want to keep them as healthy as we can. So just put the blueberries on in. I'm adding 8 ounces of blueberries, and this is, like I said, an immune booster, antioxidants. I am using frozen blueberries this week. The frozen blueberries were like half the price of the fresh blueberries. And since I'm only using 8 ounces, I had some left over for the next cook. I'm now adding 8 ounces of pumpkin. Now, this is the canned pumpkin. You can use fresh if you have it, but I didn't. In fact, this is some pumpkin that I had left over from another recipe, a human recipe that I did, and I just stuck it in the freezer. And you can do that too. Be careful if, when you're shopping for that pumpkin puree, that you don't get the pumpkin pie filling. You'll have way too much sugar for that pup in there. I'm putting in now 8 ounces of green beans. These two were frozen because the ones that was in the fresh just did not look up to par. These are just as plump as they can be. And they were very inexpensive as well. This is a very good fiber for your dog, and it's also low fat. If you have a pup who is teetering on being overweight, green beans are excellent. I'll be using 12 ounces of spinach. Again, this spinach is frozen and it is also left over from one of my recipes that I did. So it's a really good way to feed your dog high quality food and also be using up food that you and your family didn't use. Um, Make sure that you check with your vet again for the nutritional values. Some of this, like your spinach, it is chock full of cancer fighting ingredients, but it does have a lot of iron. So you'll want to make sure that that's going to work well with your dog, depending on what he may be suffering with, if he has liver problems or something. I'm adding my carrots, my turmeric, as well as my parsley that we had chopped. And then I'm going to add a few spices that are very good for your dog and that helps make this a superfood. One of them is flaxseed. Using flaxseed, you will want to get the ground, otherwise, your dog is not going to be able to absorb it. The flaxseed has like a husk on it, so your dog can't break that down. So, get you some ground flaxseed. I'm adding 2 tablespoons. I'm also adding 1 tablespoon of rosemary. It is also a cancer fighting ingredient for your dog. And we're going to heat this. We're going to cook it for about 20 minutes. Then we're going to come back. That'll be plenty done enough for our dog. We don't want to overcook it. And then we're going to come back and add the remainder of the ingredients. As your dog food cooks, just chop it a little. I am using a meat chopper. I think I had gotten this from Amazon. It was like $5. But just chop it as it cooks, and then that way your ingredients are more incorporated throughout the dog food batch. Our food has cooked for approximately 20 minutes. I have cut the burner off. And now I'm going to stir in my eggs. I have 4 eggs here. Eggs are it's a very easy protein for your dog to digest. And then we'll also be adding some additional calcium and crushed up shells. So you could crush up the shells that you used for these 4 eggs, but you would need to crush it up very small. I have taken this and put it through, I like a coffee grinder, actually, not the one I do my coffee with, um, so that it's in a powder form. And I will be using 2 tablespoons of this that I will stir in as well with those eggs. And I'm going to add my salmon now. The eggs will cook in the liquid because our liquid is still hot. And our salmon, since it's canned salmon, you could actually just eat it as is. And we have fed it to Dakota right out of the can. But we'll add this in so that we get those great omegas that is wonderful for your dog. Now I'm just going to mix in those eggs and salmon with the rest of this super dog food. Lastly, I'm going to add a little bit of oatmeal to this dog food. Oatmeal is an excellent fiber for your dog, but it is also very good for their liver. It helps remove ammonia from their digestive tract. So, another superfood. It also thickens up your dog food a little, which my dog likes thick food. So, I am had about a cup and a half there, but I'm only going to add about a cup and I'm going to stir that in. This super dog food recipe is ready. I'm going to set it off to the side and let it cool. Then I'm going to bring Dakota in for that taste test. She's the one who will let us know if we did a good job. I feel like we did. Also, when this cools, we will put this in containers and put it in the freezer. You can keep this up to 3 months, but I guarantee you it's not going to last 3 months in your house. Now, the ultimate test on this super dog food is, does Miss Dakota like it? Does Dakota like it? I would say it's a winner. Guys, if you like this recipe, give us a thumbs up. Put me a comment down below as to what you feed your dogs or how your dogs like this recipe. Also, subscribe and hit notifications so that you get all of our recipes as they post. And until next time, stir the pot.